So this is now part 2 of looking at some of the Fantastic Four First Steps merchandise, and this one will actually be about the Marvel Legends. And as I mentioned later in this video, I did get the Galactus, because this is the future now, and it's very, very cool. You can see him there. Obviously it's different from the movie one, because this is the comic one from about 2005-2006, which I got at quite a decent price on eBay. Very nice face. Then I also ended up getting the She-Hulk in a Fantastic Four suit from when she takes over from Ben for a little while, fill in for him on the team while he's still on Battleworld. I'm going to take a look at the Marvel Legends of the Fantastic Four First Steps. Here are all the boxes of the characters. There's 6 of them because we get 2 Human Torches, as should be law. And if the light stays in place, which maybe it will, maybe it won't, we'll have a look at the different boxes. So we'll start with Reed, and there he is in all his glory. He comes with some bendy arms, and there's the back of the box. I think they've all got some pretty nice portraits. I'll lower it down to the camera there. It's all really nice, well done boxes, and we've got the Force symbol, and even apparently that's the classic Hasbro toy logo, which I think is pretty nice, and nice little profile shot there as well. And gives Miss Fantastic Reed Richards. And then let's go for Sue. So you got the Invisible Woman. He comes with a force field, 2 extra hands. Back of the box, side there, and the little profile. Invisible Woman Sue Storm. Then should we go for my favourite? I think leading because he's got 2. So you got Ben. In his topless appearance, as he should be. I think I worked out what I don't like about the jumper in the film, and it's because typically when Ben's wearing a shirt as the thing, he does have it's more of a tank top as opposed to a jumper, so it's the sleeves that really throw it off, you know. It's like he's trying to show someone to the gun show, but they just don't know where to go, you know, they don't have directions. And he's the one that would point you the way. It's not fair. There's his little profile on the back. Ben Grimm, the thing. Then let's go Flamed Off Johnny. Like that. His little profile and his back. It's just so cool. Or should I say, so hot. Ha 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 ha. And then there he is. Flamed on, 2 extra hands, both of them come with. Oh yeah, I should have also said, Flamed Off one comes with some flame bits to put on his wrists. There's a shot of him flying, which was also released as one of the teaser images before there was any footage. Lovely Kirby lines on him. Little profile. And then the Shalla-Bal version of the Silver Surfer, which is the first Marvel Legends Silver Surfer me or my brother have owned, because they're notoriously hard to get a hold of. I don't know, because this will be an unpopular version of the Silver Surfer, whether it will become rare itself or if it will just continue to be Norrin Rad versions. It'll become rare, but it's still cool, you know, and I think an alternate universe version of the Silver Surfer is more than valid. Let's see what she brings to the table. Here we have Reed first up. And you can see the likeness to Pedro Pascal there, which is, they've got some really good likenesses going on. You know, that does look, for a Marvel legend, very much like Pedro Pascal. If I put the light down, maybe you can see it a bit better in his face. There we go. Yeah, look, you can see. So it's just really good detail. I don't know quite the printing techniques that they use, but I know it's a more sophisticated technology than they've used for films in the past. They've probably been using it since Endgame and things, but hey, who needs other figures when you've got Fantastic Four? That's what I say. So the points of articulation are hand movement, and they can also obviously come off. The thing that they use for their distress calls, which they don't have in the comics, that also falls off when you take off the arms of any of the figures. They have articulation in the arm, just a bit stiff, so double jointed elbows, a arm swivel, a elbow joint, a swivel at the chest, and upper body swivel as well. moving head. And then the legs, they're double jointed at the knees, like that. You can see they've got ankle pivot as well, and move back and forth. Got quite a fair bit of movement. That's a very unique position for Mr. Fantastic to be in. So let's see him with the elongated arms. So here's Reed with the elongated arms, or the stretchy arms. Just thought I'd give a little reference to Elongated Man, the original stretchy boy. But they're quite sturdy, they're quite easy to bend, but they hold their position, which is really good. But it seems like if you would keep them in a long time, it might cause damage if you were to keep it in that position for like months or so. But I think, you know, you can easily move any part of it to get the position that you want. I'm not the best at posing figures, but I'll see at the end if I can come up with some kind of unique pose, because that would be cool to display them. But you have an open palm and a more closed, like grasping palm. And I should also say that I like the Fantastic Four to have a matching uniforms. I'm not the biggest fan of them having all kind of minor changes, such as Reed not having the collar, and the like kind of black and white on the gloves is a bit jarring as well, because if they wanted to give them the black and blue costumes, I'd be up for that, or the white and blue costumes, but having the kind of in between, it makes it look a bit busy, and even the belt kind of having all the kind of notches and things, I suppose it makes it realistic, but it's, I don't know, not to my taste. But I've gotten used to it, and it could be a lot more MCU-ified, and that would be worse. So I think I should be thankful for what we've got. And even the boots, you know, I like that in the film they've got the 4 symbol on, obviously in here it's just like trademark logo. But yeah, overall they're not bad costumes, but I feel like they could be a bit better, and obviously I wish that, yeah, especially Reed had the collar, but maybe it is, like rumours say that it's because it makes CGI of stretching better, and maybe that's the case. And I think that this figure could have done with maybe more stretching parts, because there was a Mr. Fantastic figure from the 2005 film, which my brother had when we were younger. We've lost a lot of the parts now, and the paint has rubbed off on him, sadly, but that had a stretching torso, stretched legs, even a stretched neck, and I feel like that maybe that's a bit ambitious and probably a bit expensive today. But still, just having all those options for Mr. Fantastic would be a really cool thing to do, I think. And then you also have these 2 fists, which is nice if you want him to do a bit of punching in his regular arms. But yeah, that's Reed. So here's Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, and I think that she does have the best costume of the 4 in the film, because she's got the most classic Fantastic Four look with the white collar, no white stripes on the arms, still lots of detail, but you know, that's part of the course, I suppose. And you can also see how she's got the likeness to Vanessa Kirby, which is pretty good, I would say. She's got the same articulation, but because of her hair, she kind of doesn't have too much of a head swivel, but if you move the hair out of the way, which you can, but it's a bit harder to do. Still double jointed elbows, like that. You can do that. And then she comes with her force field as well, that you can put in this peg hole here. You've got swivel at the torso and an upper swivel at the chest, I think, yeah, but it's a bit harder to move. And hip movements and leg swivel and jointed at the knees. Oh, and her foot was a bit twisted there, but she's also got ankle pivot and double jointed knees there. So it's all pretty cool, and yeah, it's nice to see a Sue Storm with a good costume, because typically she's had a history of some bad costumes, not all the time. She has some really great costumes as well, but the 90s were not a good period for Sue, because she had the Malice costume and the 90s suit that only she got to wear, with a hole in the shape of the 4, where I think, like, you know, have some for the rest of the team. I think Ben could have pulled it off, and certainly Johnny could have. But yeah, that costume is a bit 2 of the worst costumes, but it's had a renaissance thanks to Marvel Rivals, but Marvel Rival players are a different breed and they love the Malice costume. But hey, what do I know? Sue Storm herself, Vanessa Kirby from the film, likes Malice, which is a surprise, because the storyline, I haven't actually raided the Malice storyline yet, but to me, seems, well, it's mainly the costume that gets me. Giving Sue depth and giving her a dark side of the character. She does have that edge to her still to this day, but I don't know, the Dominatrix uniform, Emma Frost. It's a kind of costume that Emma Frost would absolutely go for, but Sue Storm, I'm not convinced myself. But if there was a 90s suit, and if I ever had the confidence and the courage to pull it off, I would make a Johnny Storm version of that 90s suit. It'd be funny to pull off one day. So let's put the shield in. And there you go. You can see it's got like bullet holes there, so she's stopping the fire coming in. There's a hair there. But yeah, pretty nice. And here's her two fists. Now we have the fan favourite member of the Fantastic Four, Benjamin Jacob Grimm. Or the Thing, depending on your preference. I much prefer him in this look. As I said earlier, just the jumper just kind of throws the whole thing off with the Thing. And the trousers, it's just an iconic design, and I like that he's got the little 4 in the belt, which, you know, was a first indication when I noticed that in the promos that he would probably take it off because none of the others have this many 4s on them. But if he's got one there, I do wish that was a little bit bigger. But he's also got one on the side of his trousers, like he does have in some of the comic costumes. He also has the wristwatch or alert signal thing. He has some metal detailing on the white bits, and the detail of the kind of more padded clothing. Still like the belt details and stuff. But hey, you know, it works for what it is, I suppose, and it looks very Jack Kirby-esque. Obviously, he doesn't look like Evan Moss-Bachrach, because Evan Moss-Bachrach isn't actually a thing in real life, as much as he may desire to be, or maybe he doesn't. Unlike the others, Thing's got a single jointed elbow, and his hands swivel all the way around. Quite uniquely though, his bicep seems to turn 360, which I haven't seen in a figure before, or any other Thing figures. He can also move his arm up like that, obviously pointing him a bit downwards, and he's got a double jointed leg, or double jointed knees, so you can at least make him jump a bit. But only one half wants to move off camera. There we go. So you can see there, double jointed knees and the feet. He also has an ankle pivot and can move back and front. Get it at the right angle, that is. Or maybe it's a bit, maybe his foot joint's a bit stiff, but his leg can also swivel. He's also got the pelvis swivel and got 2 points of articulation in the torso as well. Should be doing that on camera really, shouldn't I? Bit of a ballerina thing, or a high kick punch. We put it into more of a, like he's kind of descending down. His head swivels as well, obviously. There we go, more of like a coming towards the camera type thing. Type thing, get it? Oh, everyone's worn out that joke to death, haven't they? Ben also does come with 2 hands, so you've got 2 open palms there. It's pretty nice if you want him holding something, or maybe put another hand in some kind of way to grab. And the final and best member of the Fantastic Four, the flamed off version of the Human Torch. So as you can see, he comes with 2 flame accessories that you can attach and move around. You can put them on either arm. I don't really think I've positioned them in the best way, but it's cool that you've got that little accessory thing. I think, you know, you could even put them on the legs if you so please, and there's the likeness. I think it doesn't look too much like Joseph Quinn, but hey, who it does look like, you know, just saying. I'm kidding. If you squint your eyes really, really tight, and you know, just imagine you could believe that's me, and then, you know, Disney, call me. I can do Disneyland Paris or something, or you know, Disneyland, Disney World. Just let me be the Human Torch, please. But yeah, so these can come off as so, and he has the open palms. He again has the wrist indicator. You can bend at the elbow like that. His joints seem the most loose. His arm moves up, or elbows, well, upper elbow swivels. Elbow? the main upper arm. So you've got the shoulder joint as well. Move that like that. Head moves, 360. The upper leg swivel as well, and the double jointed knees. If he wants to move, there you go, as such. Now he looks like he's jumping into action like Ben. I suppose I will get them in a better position. And he also comes with 2 closed fists. Now I've just kind of collapsed all the figures so far. So yeah, pretty cool. So now let's flame him on. Flame on! And who says you can't have too much of a good thing? See? Human Torch comes with 2 figures because he is the best. So I really like the detail of this figure because you can see the Kirby lines on it. I like the detail. Been on it. But yeah, you can see all the flame, and the flames on the arm move around, but you can't take them off. And the flame has a really nice like fading from like yellow to orange and then just red right at the top. You can see that in the light. It does kind of look more orangey on camera. But it's really cool as well because the closer you have it to light, the more kind of see-through and kind of like illuminates, which you can't really see on the camera unfortunately, but the closer you get to the light, the more it kind of shines and glows like a Human Torch. And the bits on the fire on the legs move as well, a little bit, like they're a bit more stiff. But you've got all the same kind of articulation. The foot can move up, down, and it can move side to side as well. The legs are double jointed, so, and it moves there. You can move at the hips and move at the waist, like that. And move at the head. Arms move, double jointed elbows as well. Oh, the hand. Double jointed elbows like that. Yeah. Body, that's top. And yeah, it's just really cool figure. I unfortunately don't have a display stand to make him into any flying poses that he could stay in, because I don't have a I don't have something that could hold him up, unfortunately. But also the flames on the back. Typically, Johnny Storm figures have a removable flame bit, but this is all kind of stuck on, which is different. And he also comes with 2 flying hands, which is really nice. So I did have a way to make him hold up and fly a bit better. But I'll see what I can do with that. And now onto the Silver Surfer. Last up, we come to Shalla-Bal, Silver Surfer, who's just balancing on her board at the moment because the peg hole on her foot to get her to be on the surfboard isn't that good, unfortunately. But I'm really surprised by the detail which she even has in her face. You can see that she's got pupils, which is very impressive for the tiny size that she is. So I don't know what technology, but it does kind of look like Julia Gardner, but obviously silvered up, and she can move her head because her hair isn't in the way like Sue's. But she's kind of got the detailing on her body of like rust, so like surfing the cosmic spaceways, I suppose. And she's got the detail of having her toes, which again, like with the Funko, I find surprising because Norin Rad doesn't typically have his toes out, but hey, Silver Surfer for someone, I suppose. But yeah, there's not much else to say apart from the silver and the rust. She's got a single swivel on the upper torso, rather than 2 swivels like the rest of the characters. Got double jointed elbows, swivel at the upper arm. You can move her arm out like that. She can swivel at the leg, bend her leg like that, and ankle pivot as well. And it is just hard to get her to be on the board. But she also comes with 3 pairs of hands, so you can have a more gliding hand, more grasping hand, and another kind of gliding hand. And the board has similar detailing, which is pretty cool. And then also this cosmic effect, which is very nice. So it looks like she's really making an impact. And the surfboard fits nice on there. It's just difficult to get her on there. For example, I'll try and put her on with one foot in an awkward position. But, she stayed better than I thought she would, but still. So I've pretty much got her in a quite cool position here. The foot isn't quite on the back of the board, but you know, I got her in a surfing kind of pose, staying on it. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It is just difficult to get her like that in the first place, unfortunately. Move that hand out of the way, because she'll probably fall over the closer I try and get to the camera, but that is, I'm pretty happy with that, because I wasn't able to get her on the board before. Yeah, that's pretty nice. As you know, searching for a nice galactic snack for old Galan. I've actually quite excitingly got a Marvel Legends Galactus Build-A-Figure coming from the old 2004 wave or something, I can't remember. This was before that I was getting Marvel Legends. It's more my brother's thing. I've always found them cool, but because we always had them in the house, I just didn't get them myself. But now I've started getting them myself, but just Fantastic Four, because there's a lot to catch up on if I was getting everyone. But I'll pose the Fantastic Four now, and you can see them as a family. Here they are all together, the Fantastic Four. I thought I'd do a family picture where Ben and Johnny are clearly having a bit of a disagreement, or a classic bit of Johnny and Ben banter. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool to see them all together. There's Johnny front. And so, yeah, it's just a nice little group. I'll try and do more of an action pose, and might even swap out a invisible Sue Storm from another wave. Pretty nice. Flaming on. Very cool. Fly upside down. See if you knew I have to special effect to have like a fire tornado going behind him, but I'm not that clever, unfortunately. And here's a team with the translucent invisible woman from the retro card wave, which, you know, it's one of those figures that makes you question your decisions in life when you're buying translucent plastic, but you know, it does the desired effect, and it is very cool to have. And I recently got a Bombastic Bagman and Franklin and Valeria, who also come with Torg, or I think it's Torg. I do need to get a separate Spider-Man of my own, but we have plenty of Spider-Men around the house somewhere. This is Bombastic Bagman, very nice, kick me sign and everything. Even if you take the head off, you can make Johnny Storm in that costume, which is what we all want, really. And this is Franklin and Valeria. Very nice. Might just put them with the family. So here is the Dan Slott Fantastic Four, or the Return of the Fantastic Four, what we're going to call it, with Franklin and Val, and Turg, and Herbie. So I thought it would just be nice to have them all there, because they fit with the Franklin and Val costumes. And I do really like the look of all of them. So it's Franklin up close. Reed, Sue, Ben. He's got the nice kind of faded kind of brush look to him. Johnny, Valeria, and Herbie. And I do prefer Herbie's design, surprise, surprise, because it's comic, but the one in the film just looks a bit too mechanical, but I suppose it's got that kind of 60s retro look to it, so I appreciate it. But I think what would be nice to recreate the iconic panel of Johnny holding Turg. We're going to have all the Johnnies holding Turg. So, here is Return of the Fantastic Four Johnny Storm holding Turg. Here is Retro Johnny Storm, Negative Zone, holding Turg. And here is the Retro Flamed On Human Torch, holding Turg. Here is Classic Flamed On Human Torch, holding Turg. Here is the Flamed On Fantastic Four First Steps Human Torch, holding Turg. And here is the Flamed Off Fantastic Four First Steps Human Torch for Johnny Storm, holding Turg. And I would be very pleased, just like that, if Johnny Storm was cradling them. Here is Turg praising the Bens. All praise the Bens.